When you're on top of the world, enemies don't always come from the outside, sometimes, they rise from within. Beyoncé had just finished another sold-out show, her energy radiating through the crowd. But as she stepped backstage, something felt off. Behind the applause was a growing storm she never saw coming. Whispers filled the industry. In high-end lounges and smoky rooms, executives exchanged glances and muttered about legal threats, and a betrayal no one expected from inside the empire. The roots of this scandal were buried deep. Years ago, in a cramped studio filled with dreams and ambition, Beyoncé had unknowingly crossed paths with someone who would one day rise to challenge her legacy. Her brand, her music, her fashion empire, everything was meticulously crafted. But every signature she made tied her deeper into deals that weren't as airtight as they seemed. Then came the blow. A formal lawsuit, filed quietly but powerfully. Allegations of stolen ideas. Intellectual theft. A claim that could tear her empire from the inside. The internet ignited. Hashtags trended. Fans clashed. Critics circled. The woman who once stood above controversy was now drowning in it. Allies offered support. Enemies saw opportunity. In the shadows, industry players picked sides. This was no longer just legal, it was personal. The accuser stepped forward, not with fire, but with carefully chosen words. She spoke of years of being overlooked, and a system designed to silence creatives. Alone, Beyoncé faced her reflection. Not the superstar, but the woman, daughter, mother, fighter. Her empire was at stake, and so was her identity. Alone, Beyoncé faced her reflection. Not the superstar, but the woman, daughter, mother, fighter. Her empire was at stake, and so was her identity. Court proceedings began. Lawyers fired volleys of accusations. Contracts were dissected. Every word, every signature from the past 2 decades was now under a microscope. And then, silence. The verdict. Beyoncé emerged from the courthouse, not broken, but transformed. The case had been dismissed. But not without consequence. The lawsuit may have failed, but the questions remained. Had power protected her? Or was she, like so many, a victim of the machine she once conquered? Friends began to distance themselves. Brand deals grew cold. The industry was watching closely, deciding whether she was still safe to support. In an unexpected move, Beyoncé broke her silence. A cryptic post. A lyric. A hint. She wouldn't speak through lawyers, she would speak through art. That night, a new song dropped. Raw. Vulnerable. Scathing. And unmistakably hers. It wasn't just music, it was a message. The world responded. Streams surged. Critics praised. But more importantly, her silence had ended on her terms. Privately, she continued to reflect. Lessons learned. Trusts broken. The empire had endured, but the queen had changed. Privately, she continued to reflect. Lessons learned. Trusts broken. The empire had endured, but the queen had changed. Behind closed doors, the team restructured. Contracts were rewritten. Future moves calculated. No more blind trust. No more loose ends. Those who once cheered her downfall now watched in awe as she returned stronger, smarter, and more guarded than ever before. At an awards show months later, she stood under the lights once again. The crowd roared, but this time, they weren't just cheering her voice, they were cheering her survival. The lawsuit faded from headlines, but the impact remained. Beyonce had walked through fire, and came out reshaped, not burned. The music continued. The tours resumed. But behind every song now was a woman who knew exactly what it took to stay on top. Empires rise. Empires fall. But some queens don't just survive scandals, they redefine them. And Beyonce? She turned hers into a crown. Empires rise. Empires fall. But some queens don't just survive scandals, they redefine them. Beyonce didn't just win. She evolved. And the world watched in awe. If you thought this story was explosive, wait until you see what's coming next. Hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and join us as we uncover the secrets the world is. The last leaked email was short, "We had to try. I'll always care for you, even if the world never sees it." No sign off. Just heartbreak in black and white.